Well, hello everybody. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. So I had a bit of a kerfuffle this today. For some reason, normally I stream through um, my Nikon camera, but for some reason today it would just not work. And I'm sure it has something to do with Apple's latest update or something's latest update. And so therefore I'm using a completely different camera. So I had to adjust the lighting and it looks all crappy in here, but you didn't come to look at my wonderful background. You came to hear me talk and tell you about some cool stuff. So, um, just want to get some clarification from my behind the scenes team um, that I am in fact broadcasting. This is why I need to continue to spread my fundraiser so I can hire somebody to do the back end stuff to make sure everything's where it's at. But anyway, welcome to episode number, I don't even know. I was going to do the whole episode count thing, but then I was just like, nah, T3Live is enough. Um, as I continue to try to battle the forces that try to keep T3, the brand, from getting my information out there. As many of you know, I've mentioned time and time again, my social media was hacked almost 2 years ago now. Um, my page I had since 2007 gone. They still won't let me run ads or targeted marketing, and it's just so frustrating. And um, I'm trying to find workarounds. I'm out there putting out flyers, meeting people, reaching out to old friends, anything I can do to get, people to contact me to book a class. In fact, I'm talking, speaking of classes, before I get into the super awesome classes, I want to say that, um, I've said this before, I am moving more towards a private class model. So it's either you and your family, you and some friends. I can do online. In fact, I have 3 or 4 online students right now because they live really far away. Of course, I always prefer to meet in person. There's only a certain amount of very limited skill set you can teach over video. Although I am trying to get find more creative ways to teach some more advanced skills as I build my webinars. So speaking of my webinars, there is currently a 15% off sale on my what I call the all-in-one package. So it's 8 webinars. They're 2 hours long each. Subjects ranging from wilderness survival to urban survival, awareness, nature photography, tracking, immersed natural movement, the way of the caretaker, and I think I may have missed one. And I'm working on a few new ones. So right now, currently, if you buy all 8 of them at once, you're already getting half off. I knock 50% off. But right now, I'm also running an additional 15% off because the I just finished with a round of 8 webinars, and the next one starts, I think, on December 6th, I believe. Um, so yeah, so spread the word. One other thing I wanted to mention that a lot of people don't know, if you have not signed up as a subscriber on my personal website, tombrown3.com, do so, because when you sign up for my newsletter, you will get an email back for me instantly with a code that is good for 10% off anything and everything for life. So don't forget about that. And you can back that on top of the 15% off for the, you know, for the all-in-one sale. So instead of 15%, you're getting 25% off. This is true for all. The code you get when you subscribe to my newsletter is good for all things T3. So any of my photography, if you want a custom print, um, uh, all that stuff. So the only thing it is not good for are classes that are collaboration classes with other organizations. Um, Before I get into talking about that very thing, I just want to say how much gratitude I have for all of you and all of the help I've gotten, through this process of just, the last 2 years has been really hard, and things are finally looking up, and I'm proud of myself for a lot of the things I've accomplished. Um, I've gone from In a year, I've gone from having no credit to really decent credit. Um, I've learned a ton of business skills, but what I need now more than anything, if any of you out there are into this or know somebody who might be willing to help me, I need marketing help, because I'm not allowed to, pay to market on Instagram or Facebook. My only other options are things like, Google AdWords or promoting my YouTube videos, things like that. So yeah, contact me if you are an internet marketer, and I could really, really use your help because, my plate is so full. I'm trying to split my website in twain. I'm going to move all the photography stuff over to a new site just to declutter my current website. And none of that would have been possible without support from the outdoor education community, the nature lovers community, the nature educators community, all you folks. um, your support has meant the world to me. Yes, I will feed you shortly. 17-year-old dog, and lays around all day, but as soon as it's feeding time, uh, she gets all young again. So yeah, thank you all so much. So now on to the good news. So currently, personally, if you go to my schedule, I've added a few physical classes here in Sandy, Oregon. So if you're a local or don't mind driving a little bit, an Oregonian, a Washingtonian, I think that's how you say that. I have a beautiful 14-acre piece of land that I live on that's old growth forest and second growth forest. In fact, I'm going to be adding a page to my website about this property and how it can be rented out if you want to run a class on something, or you want to host a camp out or anything like that. That's one of the things they also do here, my landlords. So yeah, so on March the 3rd, probably day before that, the some people are coming down from Quebec, from Les Primitifs. I would consider to be one of the better, definitely top-notch schools out there, especially winter survival. So, they're going to come here for a class, and there's only, I think, a couple spots left, 3 or 4 spots left in it. Um, it's the 3rd through the 9th. Um, yeah, 3rd through the 9th, early March. And we are going to, it's a class about nature immersion. At one point, you, back in our hunter-gatherer days, we had the ability to just know where the nearest deer were, know, where the nearest water source was, if we could quiet our mind and just let nature guide us to it. I call it plugging into the natural net. We have instincts, we have fantastic physical senses that have become atrophied due to a life of ease and safety and security and comfort. And, when you learn some simple exercises to take your physical senses to the gym, as they say, um, and you learn how to quiet your mind and connect with a landscape, some amazing things are possible. So we're going to do work on everything from those sort of skills to some physical skills. It's going to be an all-around good time. I like to keep in my class descriptions. I tend to keep them kind of mysterious. I don't. Giving away the syllabus for the whole class. That doesn't leave any room for mystery. And so. Um, It's going to be an awesome class, especially, with my buddy Matthew helping out. Um, yeah, we're gonna have quite an experience, quite an experience. So yeah, so you can, if you go to my website, it's on my schedule. You can click on the link. I think there's 4 spaces left. That'll take you to their website because he's handling all the registration. Um, so yeah, so that's the first exciting one of the year. The next one is in August sometime. I and my friend Jim are going to host an Alaskan wilderness adventure. And this is where we are going. It's going to be part class, part education, part adventure, part exploration. We're going to keep it small, you know, keep our impact low. And, we're going to fly into Fairbanks the day before. We'll spend the night at my buddy Jim's property. And then the next morning, we'll set out with a minimal amount of gear. And we'll hike for a while, and then we'll find a river or something that's full of fish, and we'll set up a camp there. And then, I'll do some teaching, and then we'll spend a couple days there, and then we'll break camp and go find another resource rich area. So yeah, it's going to be an adventure. We're going to kind of do a big loop as if you were actually migrating. So I'm super excited about that. The other one I'm really excited to run, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do this, but I am going to be running a nature photography retreat down at Matt and Carmen Corradino's Mount Victory Camp in the U.S. Virgin Islands on St. Croix. They also run a school called the Caribbean Earth Skills, I think. I'll put a link to their place in the description. Um, St. Croix is a magical spot. If I were, you know, somebody were to show up and say, you need to go into a survival situation right now, where do you want it to be? I'd be like, St. Croix, because there's just fruit everywhere and it's just such a beautiful environment. And I can't wait to get down there with my camera. Also, I'm gonna have my buddy Matt um, teach you a few of the skills that are necessary for island living, how to access that food energy and the different types of plants and trees down there. It's really, really, it's one of the most phenomenal places on Earth, except for those giant centipedes that can both sting and bite you. So, depending on the questions, how many emails I get with questions about it, I will. Anytime I go someplace tropical or nice, I want it to be cold and crappy where I live, because otherwise it's like, if we go in summer to St. Croix, it's going to be going from a really nice place to another really nice place. So I want to do it as also an escape from winter. Um, so yeah, so it's going to be sometime in the winter months. I'm trying to find a co-photographer teacher to tag along, to come along as my co-instructor. So if any of you out there are nature photographers and want to join in, contact me through my website. In closing, I want to say a few things. As I slowly kind of, when I started Future Nature and T3 photography, I had a completely different vision for what they were going to look like. Then that vision kind of rapidly collapsed, um, and I had to do things, you know, all on my own and learn a whole new skill set, the skill set of running a business. And holy crap, surviving in the woods is much easier than being an entrepreneur and trying to run a sustainable business. I mean, oh my God, I'm grateful for all I've learned about that world, but it's not the place for me. That's why I recently started a playlist on there called A Field Guide for people wanting to start a business, but who were born in the wrong century. And that series, I'm going to kind of lay out some of the more stupid mistakes I made in the journey from, when I started to now. And I'm still making mistakes. But remember, mistakes are our most important teachers. My buddy Evan and I jokingly call him my apprentice, but he's, a friend and a student. Uh, you know, to challenge ourselves, we got to hold of some lignum vitae. And if anybody knows what lignum vitae it is the most dense wood on the planet. It's so dense, in fact, that when it's completely dry and seasoned, it will sink when you put it in water. And we chop this thing up into bow drill kits, and we're going to try to make some lignum vitae bow drill kits. Uh, so one thing I'm looking forward to is the lignum vitae handhold that I'm going to come out of it with. But that stuff, it's working it is like no other wood I've ever carved. It's I don't know if it's naturally like that or if it's the way they dried it, but it just doesn't carve like regular wood. So yeah, I'll definitely be making a video once we get our kits together over the next couple weeks and share them with y'all. Um, yeah, other than that, I'm going to, as I said, other services I offer, are, in-home preparedness evaluations, uh, you know, family portraits that aren't just your boring old everyone on the steps, we're going to call them, I'm calling them adventure portraits, where we'll go to some really cool spot that I know of, be it a waterfall or a river with a view of the mountain in the background, and we'll get you a real family portrait. Um, I do have some physical classes up, but I'm keeping them sparse because I am getting more and more demand for private classes. And I operate on when it comes to private classes, I operate on a sliding scale. So don't think it's out of your price reach. Um, I'm in the process of setting up classes all over the country for the summer. So there's a good chance I'll be in your area at some point over the next, between now and this time next year. So, if I don't have to fly, that saves a whole bunch of money right there. So, if you're wanting to learn, we can do it in person. You can come to me, or I can come to you, and goes for online classes as well. Plenty of the skills that I teach can be really taught well online. So, yeah, I'm just basically throwing things to the wall and see what sticks. But yeah, I do need help with marketing again. So that's one more reminder about that. But yeah, once again, I'm so thankful for all of you who have gotten me through the 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 roughest part of my life. Um, uh, yeah, it, uh, it was rough, and so thank you all, and thank you for keep watching. I'm gonna keep cranking out the content. Oh yeah, one last thing. Dang. My dad gave me this idea during our photography class we did together. I am going to be selecting a half dozen of my photos, and I'm going to be doing a limited edition um, printing of those 6 photos. And I'm going to do uh, 10 of each. 5 will be on fine art paper with a 1/4 inch masonite backing. 5 will be on bamboo blocks. It'll be 12 by 16-ish. Um, yeah. And then once those are gone, I will delete the files. I will not use them or print them again. So if you want a chance to own a T3 original limited edition, uh, for the day that I do, finally make it big. Um, you know, Now's your chance. Well, not now, but soon. Yeah, I'll be sending out a blog post soon that that lays out more details about uh, those photos. And yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on trucking. Y'all keep sending me your love and your support. I feel it. Um, it's good to know that all the hard work I've put into leading people back to the earth is you know showing dividends, and not just monetary either. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to go meet some friends for dinner. Thank you for tuning in. It means the world to me. And until next time, peace, love. Go outside, be a caretaker, give someone a hug, go outside, have fun. Uh, Remember that every morning you wake up is the first day of the rest of your life, and you get to choose. You know, when I started to adapt that way of thinking, major changes happened. So, yeah, remember, every morning you wake up is the first day of the rest of your life. Until then, y'all, peace out. Ta.